Hey, everybody. Like we said, we are back with our guests, and I'm super excited because I had an outstanding visit with them not that long ago. Jared and I went to go visit their location, and we left there so inspired and so ready to share with the whole community all the great things that you guys are doing. So I'm here today with Options for Youth. Options for Youth West Covina. And I'm sitting here, with the principal, Richard Moreno, and assistant principal, Janice Nini. Love your last name, by the way. So welcome to Let's Connect Now.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
No, you're very welcome. Oh my God, we can't wait to share all the great things that you guys are doing. So let's start with you, Richard. I hope you don't mind me calling you Richard. But just share a little bit about, why you guys are here in West Covina and a little about your mission statement and what you're trying to accomplish here in West Covina.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having us.
Of course.
We're Options for Youth West Covina. We were previously located in the City of Industry, but we moved here, about 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. And we're just excited to be part of the community. If you don't know anything about Options for Youth, the network of schools started about 40 years ago. A couple, John and Joan Hall, were our founders. And we've pretty much grown all in the LA County area, and we're also in the Inland Empire. I happen to be the principal of the San Gabriel Valley, so that's why West Covina is under me. But yeah, we're excited to be in the community, and we really cater to students and families who, for whatever reason, haven't been successful in a traditional school setting. And so we welcome them to come and give us a try. We're an independent study-based program, meaning that students come to us a couple of times a week, and they meet with their teacher, and they go over, their coursework, and then they take a test. But they can stay for an additional time with, either a math tutor, an English tutor. But we also offer small group instruction classes in English, math, and science. And so when I say kids are coming to us 2 days a week, it's really more than 2 days a week. It's probably 2 to 4 days a week.
Well, we had an outstanding visit with you guys, and we saw the whole atmosphere. How you guys have it all broken down. You guys explained to us all the wonderful things that you guys do for these students, and some are young, some are older. I guess the oldest one would be age 24?
Yeah, we go up to age 24, and they could enroll at age 14.
Oh, as early as 8th grade, you mentioned,
it's 8th
correct?
grade, yeah.
Wow, how wonderful is that? And these students are just regular basic students who just maybe the regular high school just wasn't for them, but they're not necessarily like at risk or like how would you say, like continuation? I don't know, maybe you want to explain a little bit about that?
We're open enrollment for anyone who is looking for an alternative kind of high school where the traditional route isn't the best fit for them. And so you don't need a reason to be here. If you want to enroll with us, we're open for anybody as long as you are within 8th grade or 12th grade. And students come to us with every kind of background. Prior to me being assistant principal, I was a teacher at that school. And so students, I would have 15-year-old graduates, and I've had 22-year-old graduates. They come to us with a different story, and we are a personalized program. So students come to us, and whatever they need to graduate, we do whatever we can to fit their needs specifically.
And you guys share that you guys actually have like a traditional like graduation for them. You guys, they don't have to pay for their cap and gown. You guys provide all that. And I think I also talked to another wonderful lady who was the one who initially contacted me, who is actually here and is camera shy, doesn't want to come on camera. But she shared with me how you guys take the students on trips. Mm-hmm. So share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so our upcoming trip is to Washington, D.C., and they go on these trips and they earn credits. It's basically experiential learning. So it's hands-on learning. They're learning about history through going to Gettysburg, going to see the different monuments. The Washington, D.C. trip is amazing because they see all of it, and they're learning history by seeing it. And so we went to Gettysburg, and they were like, this is the bullet hole from, it's not bullet, it's like buckshot or whatever, yeah, from back then, you know, when that happened. And so it's like history coming to life. And so it's one thing for the kids to read about it. It's a whole other thing to walk the steps.
Experience.
Oh,
it.
and I agree 100%. I went to Philadelphia and I never really knew like the history in Philly, you know, about how everything kind of got started. And I got to experience it and I actually was like living it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one thing to hear about it. And another thing is to actually have like actually see it and be there and stand there and see all the great
Yeah,
things
for
that you
sure.
only imagine when you read a book, right?
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful experience. So I can only imagine that, you know. That's so great. What else? I mean, what else do you guys feel that that is so key to bringing this education to these students?
Yeah, so we are independent study, mostly independent study, so that it doesn't run like traditional school where they come all day. Sometimes that's too much for students, and so it isn't as many hours. So what we want to do is try to give them more. We have student clubs so that the students can experience the high school life. And so right now we're doing an ice cream social and we're introducing our different clubs. So we have Creatives, which is an art club. We have a self-empowerment club where they'll be doing different self-empowerment activities such as creating a vision board, creating a life quote.
I love that.
Yeah, and then we have junior cohort where they go on a 2-year plan, and then senior cohort, and then our student leadership that they meet twice a month, and every month we have a different theme, a different focus. So last month it was a welcome for the new school year. So we had donuts, and like the student leadership will help with each of these. And
That's
so we
so
work together,
wonderful.
the teachers and the students, to kind of welcome our students every month.
That's so wonderful. And so back to our principal, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your goal as a principal? Like, right now we're doing, you know, we're introducing the school to the community. But from your perspective, how do you view that?
I mean, it's going to sound corny, but my goal for every student is actually to see them walk that graduation stage, to
That's
be honest with
awesome.
you, because I'm actually the one that actually gets to shake their hand, you know what I mean? And so it's just, you know, it's just a nice feeling that we're a small part of their educational journey. You know, the one thing that, you know, as I was listening to Janice talk about our program, I think the one thing that really separates us from other schools is relationships, to be honest with you. We you know, believe strongly in the student-teacher relationship.
Absolutely.
And that makes all the difference, you know what I mean? Because it really is one-on-one. I mean, I came from a traditional school. You certainly can build relationships at a traditional school environment, but our environment in particular is just, it's just more intimate. And, you know, we've seen students who, you know, for whatever reason, if we have another teacher who has another opportunity and they move locations, sometimes that student will want to follow that teacher because the
wow.
relationship is just so strong. And so I pride myself on, you know, I have an assistant principal here. I think she'll agree with me, but I pride myself on, you know, relationships. I think relationships are important, and I try to model that with my staff. And then it sort of just trickles down to, you know, again, the student-teacher relationship.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Everything is about relationships, and if the students are following you, it's for a reason. I think you become like a mentor to them, you know, because we never know what their home life is like. But if they have someone that they look up to, they want to follow them, you know, because you're a great example, and you're probably guiding them in the right direction, and that's what we want with our youth, right? We want to make sure that we're guiding them, that we're providing everything that they need, especially when they can't afford, you know, to get like a really great education. And in traditional high school, which I do believe in that, I come from the private school sector, but I wanted a more intimate setting. To me, a big high school scared me.
Right.
You know, and so when I got individual attention at my private school, I really did felt like I stood out. You know, so I'm not sure if you guys experienced that with, you know, some of your students.
Yeah, for sure. And I just kind of wanted to highlight, you know, the type of students that we serve. You know, sometimes we do get troubled kids who need a different, you know, environment. But to be honest with you, I mean, we get kids, like Jana said earlier, we get kids who just want to be on a different path and, you know, want to graduate early. We have students graduating at 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
You know, we have young mothers who, you know, need an alternative setting. We have, you know, students that belong to LGBTQ. And students who've been bullied, unfortunately. And so, again, they come to us some of them come to us with already a distrust, with teachers. But again, once they come into our program and they start building that relationship with the teacher, that's the key to their success.
Yeah, and I met, the majority of your teachers, and they were also friendly, so welcoming. And so how many times do you get students in your office because they don't behave?
It's not that often, to be honest with you, which is a good thing.
Traditional high
It's
school,
actually not that often.
you're probably faced with that every day, right?
I know. And that's really hard for me to build relationships with students, you know what I mean? Because when I'm calling them into the office, they're like, why am I going into the principal's office?
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. So what else do you guys want to share with our community? Because right now we have, a great group of people who are listening, who maybe they know someone that, how does the process work?
Yeah, so we are open enrollment. We have a website where they can do the digital registration, and they can call our office and let us know they want to enroll. They just need to unenroll from their traditional school. What I actually wanted to go back to is one of the reasons why we're able to build these relationships.
Wonderful.
Is because they have the one teacher the entire time.
Oh,
so when I was a teacher, I had a student start with me in 8th grade and graduate, and that's how you consistently build on this relationship. One of the ways that we figure out if a student is feeling a little bit off or needs some additional support is you have to know when the student is on, right? Create that relationship, create and cultivate it. And the way that happens is you stay with that student the entire time. I think that's one of the biggest differences between us and traditional school. And the independent study appointment, the teachers only see up to 6 to 8 students at a time. At traditional school, you're looking at 30. And it's very difficult to create these relationships when you're trying to manage 30-something students. So, and our teachers meet with our students one-on-one in every single appointment time. So every student gets to be seen, every student gets to be heard. Even in our small group instruction, which looks like traditional classroom setting, there's at max 16. We actually put 18 in one of our rooms, and that's the most we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
And 18 is a lot less than traditional schools, so the students are able to meet with their teacher. We also have additional appointment hours or office hours with the staff who are doing the traditional classroom, so that they can meet with their students one-on-one. And so our relationships are built because we are seeing students in a much smaller group than traditional school, which is something that like you were saying, you're looking for more one-on-one time, and we're able to provide that because we don't see as many students at once. You also can't hide, right, when I'm talking to you one-on-one.
Yeah.
And so the students also learn that, and they learn to trust that.
Oh, that's
right? Because I
wonderful.
also can't hide as a teacher if I'm talking to you one-on-one. And so I think one of my most favorite things is when we see students who come to us with this big distrust, and they're like, oh, another school that I'm just going to drop out of, or won't care. And then if I'm talking to you one-on-one, I'm asking you how your weekend is, or I remember that you said that you were going somewhere this weekend, and we talk about that. That's how we build on these relationships. That's how
That's
they learn to
wonderful.
trust.
And you shared something with me when we were there doing the tour, because I got to see her office, everybody, and she is a huge Hello Kitty fan. I'm not even joking. And her office is just the cutest office ever. And you shared
I don't
something
know how
with
that
me.
got approved.
But you shared something with me that kind of stood with me, and I thought, you know what, that is so wonderful. You said that when you talk to a student, something about when they come to you, you don't meet with them in your office, you meet with them in a different setting. Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have a big desk, but I never meet with my students at the desk. I have a small, basically this size, where if they come in my office, I sit and we are on the same level and we are talking, because it can be intimidating to come talk, especially because my desk is very big and it's a standing desk, and it's not the relationship I want to have with the kids. The kids know that I am stern and there's rules, and I uphold that, but everything is a conversation. So if this is something that we need to talk about, figure out why it's happening and what we can do to support, they are not here to be penalized and punished, right? That's not, though there are rules and consequences, there's conversations behind it. What supports can I do to help make sure that doesn't happen again? What are the reasons why you are doing this? What can we do to better help support you? Because ultimately the goal is to have them graduate or earn enough credits to go back to their traditional school. Sometimes the kids, that's their main goal. And it's what can we do to get there? And It's always a conversation. Everything is a conversation. I can't have a conversation when I'm behind my big desk, behind my computer, and I'm kind of talking to you behind it. This is us talking one-on-one, or with the parents and the teacher, right? And we're just having a conversation about what we can do to best support that student.
That was so wonderful.
I think Janice mentioned something that's really, really important. We're there to support their goals, you know what I mean? And if that means that, you know, they need to come to us for just a semester or two to catch up on their grades and go back to a traditional school setting, then we support that. My own daughter, you know, needed a different setting for a semester. She came to us, got caught up, and then she was comfortable going back to a traditional school. So, you know, it's not that we're like, you know, want to hang on to these kids, you know, or you know, take them from another school or whatever. It just depends on, you know, what they need at that time.
So you do work with high schools.
Yes.
It just in the event that has to happen for a few months, or if you know if the child or the young adult wants to just continue their education even after high school. So what percentage of your graduates actually go to college after, would you say?
That's a good one. Well, it kind of depends. You know, we are also a workforce innovation and opportunity act school, which means that, you know, it's twofold. Where, you know, if your goal is to go to college, then we will 100% support that. But also, we're going to expose you to workforce activities, meaning that, you know, we're going to try to get you an internship. We're going to try to get you a job. We're going to expose you to different career opportunities. So I think it's changing a little bit because, you know, we have that opportunity to show them more workforce, you know, related activities. And so, you know, I'm not sure what the percentage is in regards to, you know, going to college, because I think it's a mix now. I think a lot of kids are choosing to go into the workforce.
Mm-hmm. And I met the gentleman who shared with us how he is establishing relationships with different industries so that you could create a program for the kids to be exposed to that. We share with you that we currently have a student who is learning production here. I don't think this kid. He graduated high school already, but I don't think this kid is happier than he's ever been, and he shares it with his mom. We every so often will speak to the mom, and she is on top of the world. You know, he loves photography. I think you guys got to meet him.
You did.
And he came back the other day with a brand new camera because his family for his birthday bought him a new camera. And I thought, you know what? That's family support. That's wonderful. No matter what, you know, we have to support our kids, right? As parents, as educators, because they're the future. So whether they choose college or not, it's still career path, and they could be the best they could be at that, even develop their own passion and maybe start their own business at one point. You know, and that's the goal, is just to build these young, you know, these young, you know, people to do something that they're passionate about. I really truly believe in being passionate about doing something. So so that's so great. I mean, I give you guys, you know, kudos, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. We want to continue, you know, getting to know you, and so that way we could be, you know, you're now a resource for us, you know, in the event that we hear about, because we hear a lot from you know, from friends, you know, friends out there that are educators, and, you know, and as a resource, I think we have something to offer, you know, our community, right? And the more I can introduce you guys to other leadership here in the city of West Covina, I would love to do that as well. I'm sure you're already doing that. Because your program, I just think the world of it. I mean, we fell in love with it, JR. He's like, you think I go to school there? And I'm like, no, JR, you're a little too old. You're a little too old. But maybe you could teach something, JR. I don't know. You know?
Production. There you go.
So I always tell all of our guests, you know, it's not the last time that we have a conversation. I really would love to have, you know, one of your model students perhaps, you know, sit with us and tell us what their experience, you know, it's like, and just to share, because they're the voice.
Yes.
They're the voice. I mean, we are the voice too, but they could be the voice for you. And I would love to have, you know, that you know, be something that we showcase here, you know, if possible.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and so I know, looking forward to, you know, what's coming. Share with us what's about to happen here in West Covina in September. I know we have something really great happening. So where the community can come out, right?
Yes. So yeah, we're super excited. So on September 25th or 27th, I believe it's one of those dates, we are going to have September 25th. We're going to have a ribbon cutting, and you guys have been so gracious to help us with that. Yeah, and we're excited to showcase our program. We'll have students there. We'll have families there. Some, local leaders will hopefully show up
Yeah.
as well. And so
Yeah.
we're looking forward to it.
That's awesome. So, any last words from you guys to our audience that you want to share?
So I think one of the ways that they've kind of described us is kind of one of the best kept secrets for students. And so we are here to kind of talk about how we would love to help students who are looking for an alternative program. We are open year round. We're open enrollment. And so you just have to go to ofy.org and look for our West Covina location and come on by if you have any questions. We're always willing to help.
Wow, wonderful. And I know that you guys are located just right off the 10 freeway off of Azusa. You can't miss it when we exit on Azusa, we see it. It's right there.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful location too, that you guys have there. So if anybody wants more information, we are going to share the information about all the details, about all the wonderful things that they are doing in our community. And we welcome you guys to the city of West Covina, and we can't wait for your grand opening. So thank you again for
Thank you.
sitting here with us. I'm sure there's more to share, so we'll do that
We'll be back.
in the near future. And so for right now, we are going to say thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys on our next episode. Thank you.